Recording in progress. So yan, we still have 2 minutes more bago mag-1. So at least 13 out of 34. So dapat 34 kayo. Though, yung 4 sa 34 hindi pa nagre-reply regarding their anong tawag dito? Facebook link. So hindi ko pa sila na-add sa GC. So if you know some of them na dapat nandito sa klase, tapos wala pa sa GC, let them know na dapat mag-reply sila sa akin dun sa kanilang Facebook link. So, yeah. So how are you guys? Excited? Nag-lunch ba?
Opo,
Sana nag-lunch kayo para ma-absorb nyo yung knowledge.
Papasundot sa Fernando si Papa mo.
Ha? Okay, it's 1 o'clock. Okay, 14. Okay, let me give 2 minutes more para mag-start tayo. So I hope you downloaded the files for this afternoon. Though yung drawing files, hindi naman natin gagamitin dito sa aking lecture kasi yun yung gagawa nyo ng activities or yung mga plates. So yan, kailangan nyo lang si PDF, then magdangog kayo. Then afterwards, after I end up our session, kayo naman. Yan. Wait. So, early kong binigay ngayon yung attendance link para at least may question na kasi dun eh. Okay. Under and postgraduate degree. So, kailangan yung course. Kung anong field nyo, like kung engineering, civil ba, mechanical, industrial. Kung undergraduate, anong pinagklasihan. Okay. So, I have 13 na nag-attendance na. So, later. Okay, yung iba, habol na lang mamaya sa attendance link. So, open lang siya. Hindi ko i-close yung mga attendance link. Just in case hindi kayo maka-attend ng ating live session. May recorded naman ito na file. I-upload ko sa ating Google Drive or pwede nyo mapanood sa aking YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll give you the link later once uploaded na. So yan, it's 1:02. Let us start. So again, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to our first day sa ating 40-hour studio drawing with Isometric in AutoCAD 2018. So, yan. As you can see, ang naka-share is yung AutoCAD software ko. Tapos nandiyan yung mga modules. So, ginagawa ko siya in AutoCAD na lang, hindi na sa Word para hindi na ako palipat-lipat. And mas madali din kasi kung isa-sample ko yung command, at least nandito na, hindi na ako mag-alt tab. So, yan. So, to start, bakit? Ano to? So, introduction daw, based sa ating page 1. So, this module covers the knowledge and attitude required to know, hindi nagbasa, hindi nag-proofread, to know how to create an isometric projection. So, meron tayong mga prerequisite. Here, walang problema dun sa hindi nag-undergo ng module 1. Yung BA007 ko, yung last class. Pero what you need to have or what knowledge should you need here sa ating module 2 is, syempre, you need to identify or you know how to identify the basic concepts of Cartesian coordinate system. So yung mga XY point, angles, nandiyan na yan. So dapat alam nyo na siya. I expect that you know this already. Next is, you know how to operate the AutoCAD interface. Now, kung talagang zero knowledge pa kayo, hindi ko sinasabing kayo yun kung may nakalusot na walang basic knowledge kay AutoCAD, I will suggest or I highly suggest na you start with module 1. Kasi dun ito eh. So this one, the module 2, hindi ko na itatakel yung mga basic commands. So kung napahalo kayo dito thinking na magdi-discuss pa ako, let me know after the class. Hindi naman kayo mabablacklist sa school, tatanggalin ko lang kayo and magre-register na lang kayo next year pag nag-open na naman yung basic module 1. Okay? Next prerequisite is you should know how to use AutoCAD drafting settings or how you can modify drafting settings. Yan. Coordinate entries. For coordinate entries, I believe that kung sa klase lang kayo nag-base, hindi naman lahat na-discuss yung coordinate entries. However, for the module 2, yung isang coordinate entry lang naman yung itatackle natin. Pero yung other parts, hindi ko na yan i-discuss pero kasi nasa module 1 yon. Then, itong dalawa, you should know how to use the draw and modify commands. Kasi ito, halo-halo na ito. Ano yan? Okay. So, yun. For module 2, hindi na ako nagdi-discuss ng very basic. Like yung yung na-handle ko na 007, hindi na ganun ka-detailed. So, ito, summary ng mga basic commands. Itutukdo ko lang kung ano yung needed. So, kayo na yung magpa-practice, mag-hone ng skill ninyo. Okay? So, the objective for this session or today is at the end of this module, the student will be able to create an isometric object using polar coordinate entry. So, yan. Under yan dun sa coordinate entries. So, ang gagamitin lang natin is polar coordinate entry. Then, you should know how to create an isometric object by modifying the snap type in drafting settings. So, you have two options on how you create isometric projections or isometric objects. Then, dito naman, the next step or parang next objective is to create a circle in an isometric drawing. So, hindi na circle command yung gagamitin natin. So, later, or kung nabasa nyo na, alam nyo na kung anong gagamitin. So, yan. Hindi na circle because we're creating an isometric object na. So, pag nag-circle ka, naka-flat siya. So, dapat medyo angled or tilted yung ating circle. So, this should be good for 8 hours. So, I was thinking, kung magle-lecture ako ngayon, tapos good for 8 hours siya eh. So, hanggang bukas to, nagagawin nyo lang. However, may mga mabibili sa inyo, so okay lang. Ang gagawin ko na lang is, I'll have a lecture today and tomorrow, then we'll meet Thursday. So, you will have Wednesday, the whole afternoon to do the other stuff or yung ibang hindi nyo pa natatapos na pinapagawa ko. Okay? For the learning plan, I have here creating isometric objects sa information sheet. we have the activity sheet, job sheet, and project sheet. So again, let me remind you guys na for you to receive your certificate, you need to submit all activity, job, and project sheets. Kung ilan yung binigay ko, isasubmit nyo rin sa akin. Pero it doesn't mean na agad-agad. Kasi kung makapasa na kayo ng post-assessment, isasubmit ko yun ang record sa TESDA as terminal report. Now, it will take some time for them to process yung inyong control number. So, about a month. So, you still have a month to, after post-assessment to submit that to me. So, hindi nyo naman kailangan ora-orada. However, if you want to make sure na makakapasa kayo sa post-assessment, you should touch some of these sheets. Kasi dyan yung process niyan, pinapractice kayo and lalabas yan sa ating post-assessment. Dun sa mga nag-take ng 007, yung nag-post-assessment, I congratulate you guys, lahat pasado. So, wala akong bagsak. Yes. Diba?
Diet.
Diet? Ay. So, yan. Ilan ba? 24 lang ako last time yung sa module 1 ko. So, congratulations guys. Diba, hindi naman ako sumuko kasi hindi kayo sumuko. So, I hope dito sa ating module 2, I think, sabi ko nga 34 registered people na dapat nandito. I will parang masisigurado ko kung ilan na kayo by Wednesday. So, yun yung cut-off ko. Pwede pa kayong mag-drop ngayon or pwede pa kayong mag-leave. Ang final submission ko ng enrollment report is on Wednesday. So, lahat ng mag-go pa, Wednesday ko malalaman. So, yan. So, I hope lahat din ng matitira papasa. So, yan tayo. So, proceeding. Again, congrats, BA007. So, page 2. Okay, information sheet. So, guys, if you have questions while I'm discussing, you can raise your hand or magsalita na lang kayo. Sabihin nyo, ma'am, may question or clarification. Okay? So, yan. The contents of this information sheet is the brief definition of isometric projection, how to create isometric, parang yung sinabi ko lang kanina, isometric object using polar coordinate, isometric object by modifying snap type, and creating a circle in an isometric drawing. So, ano ba ang isometric projection? Yun yung topic natin . Ito yung topic nung whole module. So, isometric projection is a method for visually representing three-dimensional objects in two dimensions in technical and engineering drawings. So, wala akong kama. Okay. So, yan, base yan sa Wikipedia. Okay. In my terms, ang isometric projection, kailangan makita mo dyan yung three faces ng iyong object. So, when you say 2D, you use XY plane or X and Y axis. Now, for isometric projection, you represent three dimensions, yung XYZ in 2D. So, like this one, itong plate na to or itong bond paper or itong nakikita nyong layout sa inyong screen, this is created in a paper. So, naka-flat lang siya. Pero this box is a representation in 2D. Yung parang meron kang you have your, sabihin natin, x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. You have the height. So, nire-represent mo sa flat paper ang isang 3D model. Or, yan. So, yan yung isometric projection. Now, there are different projections. Meron perspective. So, si perspective, sa mga CE at saka RT, di ba pag gumagawa ng mga plano, you need to have perspective. So, perspective drawing of your project. Now, for perspective, different angles yan. You can use 30-60, I think, or 60-60. You have 3-point projection. So, yan. When you use that kind of perspective drawing, ang pinaka sinasabi ko dyan, your height from the corner is different from the height of the edge corner or the other corner. So, let's have a sample. Sandali. So, sige. I'll use paint. Hindi ko pa kasi siya binuksan kanina. Okay. I-align ko lang ang aking mic at saka ang aking tablet. Okay. So for perspective drawing, diba, you need, naka-brush ba ako? Sige. Let's have this as your horizon. Alam kong hindi perfect line, so gumagamit lang ako ng pen, so yan. If you want to create a perspective drawing, I think 30-60, tama ba? Sa mga RT and CE. So, I think you need to have a specific location here. Tapos ika-calculate pa yan eh. Then, dito yata. So, may calculation, dapat may angle dyan. Then, may angle ka rin dyan. Okay. So, this one, let's erase this. Okay, basta angle yan, no? Now, so if you have a height here, sabihin natin, yung height of your box, may ganyan ka. This end, you need to reconnect dito sa edge na to. Yan. So, parang yan yung inyong perspective line. Now, dito, i-measure yung length ng box. So, let's say, dito. Tapos, here, ito, sabihin natin, yun lang siya. For this one, if you have 10 units here, dahil gumamit ka ng angle, the height of this is not or is less than 10. Kasi nagkakaroon nga siya ng parang height difference because you're using an angle. So same din dito, less than 10 siya. So that's your perspective. For 3-point, meron pa dito yata or dito sa taas. So gagawa mo, i-connect mo na naman ang mga points mo. So but for isometric, let's delete this. Yan. I'll use this. So, for isometric, you will use angles as well. Ay, Hindi sumakto. But you use a uniform 30 degrees on each side. Okay. So, pantay siya. Now, if you have a 10 here, 10 units here, tapos sabihin natin 10 units naman dito. Say ganyan, 10. If you have a height of 10 in your one corner, this is also 10 in the other corner. So, yan yung perspective. Yan yung isometric projection natin. So, zooming in, ito yung ating sample ng isometric drawing. Diba? Nagloloko ang aking mouse. Yan. Okay. So, yan. If you have 3 units here, dun sa baba, yung length ng ating imaginary box, sa taas din, you have 3 units as well. So, kung ilan nito, yun din yung measurement nito. Okay? Ayan. So, going to page 3. So, dito na tayo on how we create this isometric projection or isometric drawing. So, sabi ko nga kanina, you have 2 ways of creating isometric drawings. Either you use polar coordinate entry or you modify yung inyong snap setting. Snap setting sa drafting setting. So, this one, true story. True story, ano. When I was still a child, joke. Sa school, syempre may class na AutoCAD. And I was not that type of student. Okay. Sorry. I-chat ko kayo. Bigla akong nawala. Okay. I'm back. Wait. Let me share my screen again. Sorry for that. Share. Okay. Recording in progress still. Okay. So, nung ako yung nagkaklase pa, Tagalog na lang, pinagawa kami nito or natakel or hindi. Ang gusto ko sabihin, hindi ako yung tipo ng estudyante na laging present. So, dito sa aking AutoCAD journey, nung ako'y estudyante pa, hindi ko matandaan kung diniscuss namin ito. Pero, nagagawa ko. Anyway, so, okay ito. Kaya, sanay ako nitong polar coordinate entry. Pero yung isang way, hindi ko alam na existing pala yun. So, I was sayang. Yung ano ko, sayang kasi hindi ko yun alam. Di mas madali kong nagawa before. So, yan po. Using polar coordinate entry, this uses the change in distance or the length of your line or the length of your component and the angle. So, doon sa mga nag-BA007, saan nga natin kukunin yung gagamitin na angle? Kausapin niyo ko.
From positive x-axis, ma'am.
Very good. Thank you so much. So, dito, you need to be very careful kasi lahat ng gagamitin na angle should come from the positive x-axis. So, sample. So, again, quick recap. So, if you have, mali. Sorry hindi ano. So, this is 0, this is 90, this is 180, this is 270. And you can use negative values. So, pwede itong negative 90, ito negative 270. So, bakit ka gagamit ng negative 270 kung may 90 ka naman? Okay. So, if you have, from this point, gagawa ka ng 5 units na may 45 degrees, 5 units. So, you will command at 5, this is your length or change in length. That's fine. Then, use 45. This is the less than sign. 45 is your angle. So, after that, enter. So, if you will create this line from this point, this is, sabihin natin, 30. So, the angle you need will come from this one, pink. So, ito dapat ang kailangan mo. So, if you have a straight line and that's 180 minus 30, so you will use at 5. Sabihin natin puro 5 lang ang distance. 5 angle, ilan na? 150. Yan ha. Hindi ko na ipapa-recite. So, gawa lang ako ng samples. So, sabi ko nga kanina, you can use negative values as well. Pwede rin naman at 5 angle. So, negative. So, you have 180 plus 30, negative 30. So, negative 210. Okay? So, same din yan kasi ito lang yung kinuha mo. So, angles coming from the positive x-axis, clockwise, negative. Tama, di ba? Clockwise, negative. Counterclockwise, positive. Okay? So, let's say I have another one. So, this one. This is 60. So, what you need to have or the angle you need to calculate or you need to have is this one. So, 180 plus 60. So, at 5 angle 240 or at 5 angle 90. Negative 120. Ito yan. So, do you understand the how to use the polar coordinate entry? Lalo na dun sa mga hindi dumaan ng 007. You can thumbs up ha. Kung ayaw niyong marinig yung mga bosses. Okay, sige. I will continue. So yan, that's for the polar coordinate entry. So we will do this dito sa ating AutoCAD. So dito, mag-open na lang ako. Yan. Open new drawing. Para makasample ako. So as you can see, gray ang aking background. So para hindi nalulunod yung mga lines ko. So here, I'll turn off the grid. So dun sa mga naging student ko before, sinabi ko I don't like grid lines. So yan. Then, ay, mali ang aking na pindot. Wait lang. So, kunin ko na lang yung image sa PDF. Okay. Para hindi na ako maglipat-lipat. I'll use this. I'll paste na lang. Up. Hindi rin nakasama yung number. Flat. Okay. So, if the number doesn't come or wala din siya, so ito na lang ang kukunin ko para kasama yung numbers. I'll just use copy. Yan. Tapos, I'll go here. Ayusin ko lang to. So this one. Wait lang ha. Yan na. Sige. Konti pa. Yan. Pwede na siguro. So, we're going to replicate this object. Ito, using the polar coordinate entry. Balikan kita mamaya, Daryl, about dun sa product key pagkataas ng klase. Okay? So, here, sabi nga natin kanina, the format of the polar coordinate entry is at yung distance, the angle sign, then yung value ng angle. Up. Okay. So, yan. So, here, if we want to create o to replicate this, kailangan natin magkaroon ng isang point. O, sabihin natin starting point. Starting point natin is yung 1. Pupunta ka ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tapos ihuli mo, after 6, babalik mo sa 1. Then you can connect 5 to 7, 7 to 3. Then again, 7 to 1. Now, to create this, ang angle natin for isometric is 30. Ang kahalusan dyan, 30 degrees. So from this point, papunta sa point 1, papunta sa point 2, the angle is 30. Diba? Balikan natin to. Op, mali. Hindi ka save. Control A. Yan. Up. Ayan. So, ito yung 1. 1. Palitan natin color. Blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, from this point, ipoproject mo lang yung x-axis, yung positive x-axis. So, coming from this point, iproject mo pa ganun, pa right. Ang mafo-form nito is 30 degree. So, hindi mo na natin gagawin dun sa ating AutoCAD. So, very basic command, line command, enter. We do not have a specific point here, so just click anywhere sa ating drawing area. So, here we have, we count, kasi hindi naman given yung number niya talaga. So, all we have is the grid lines, and all grids have 1 unit ang distance. So, to create point 1 to point 2, we count the box. So, 1, 2, ay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, that's our length, or that's our distance. So, at for angle. So ito, this one is 30. 30. Enter. So, nandito na tayo sa point 2. Now, ilan na yung distance niya? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, at distance 5 angle. So, the angle here, straight up, straight na nga, no? Or vertical. So, we will use 90 degrees. So, dito tayo. 0, 90, 180, 270. Okay? Next. Point 3 to point 4. So, ipoproject na naman natin si x-axis. So, sabihin natin, yan. X-axis. So, ito, ang kailangan natin na angle is this one. Diba? Pero, ito yung given. So, kasi similar man lang yan eh. So, if you have 30 here, 30 ka din doon. So, 180 minus 30, so 150. Balik tayo sa blue. So, at the length, 1, 2, 3. So, 3, angle, 150. Enter. Nalimutan ko, enter. Next. Let's project another horizontal line here. So, we have this one 30, this one 30. Pero point 4 to point 5, what you need is this angle. Ay, mali. This angle. So, or pala, this one. Kulang. Yan. So, kakount na naman tayo. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, at 4. The angle, anong pwedeng gamitin na angle, guys? Wala. Okay, the angle you can use is for negative, you can use negative 150 or you can use 210. So, the straight line is 180 plus 30. So, 180 plus 30, 210. So, this one, this is 180. Tapos, less 30, 150. You use the negative value kasi clockwise direction siya. So, negative. So, 5 to 6. So, yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The angle you can use is either 270 or negative 90. Okay. So, nandiyan ka na. Para makapunta ka dun sa point 1, provided na dito ka talaga nag-start, you can use, sa mga nag-007, you can use SWAT command para matapos siya or bumalik.
Double enter, ma'am, or C.
Pag nag-double enter ka, you need to provide yung sunod na point. Diba? So, pwedeng at, ito tayo. So, 30. So, at 3, kasi 1, 2, 3, pabalik ka. Angle, negative 30, or gusto mo naman positive. So, 360, 330. Or, yung pinakamahirap na command is C, enter. This one pala, double enter ito. Kasi, The first enter, ito yung pagpunta ng 0.6 sa 0.1. Then, the second enter finishes the command or cancels the command. So, this one, C is for close. So, provided that it will close on the first point you provided pagka-command mo nung line command or any other command. So, yan. Gawin na natin. Sige. So, let's see kung tama ba siya. Hindi siya naggano. Okay, sa kabila ko na lang. So at least, nakita nyo naman yung answer. Parang kailangan ko pang cheat sheet, no? So line, L, enter, or you can click the button for line under home command, draw group, or you can type the full letter, the full word, line. Pero L na lang, di ba? Yan. Click anywhere. So, point 1 to point 2. So, at 4 angle 30. Yan na. So, nakikita niyo sumusunod. Pumupunta na lang dun yung ating line. So, sunod at 5 angle 90. Then, at 3 angle, ilan na nga to? 150. At 4 angle negative 150. At 5 angle negative 90. Close. Okay. So, yung outer part ng ating isometric box nagawa na. So, let's create this part. Ito. So, hindi ko nagagawin dun sa paint. Dito na lang agad. So, from this point, kailangan natin dun at 3 angle negative 30. Then, for this one, pwedeng hindi na kayo mag-command. If your object snap is turned on, i-detect nyo na lang yung endpoint. So, mas madali. Ang medyo masakit lang dyan is yung edges. So, kaya dun tayo gumagamit ng polar coordinate entry. Once na may edges na tayo, mas madali na lang mag-connect ng line. Okay. Ayan. So, this is creating this isometric box using polar coordinate entry. So, the other one, which is para sa akin, mas madali. Pero ito, madali din sa akin, lalo na kung sanay kayo using angles. So, yan. We're going to modify our snap type sa drafting settings. So, dito, ang default niya, your crosshairs are cross. Cross yung horizontal and vertical. So, when you use a different snap type, so DS, so ito, under drafting settings, nag-DS ako, ano? So, lalabas yung dialog box ng drafting settings. The first tab is snap and grid. Here, you can use the isometric snap under the snap type. So, balikan natin ang itsura, ha. This is our grid sa rectangular snap. Tapos, when we change it to isometric snap, the crosshair, you can toggle 3 different crosshairs here. So, this one is intended for this part of your isometric projection. You can toggle by clicking or pressing F5. F5. So F5, madali lang sa keyboard. So for this cursor or this crosshair, intended para dito. Tapos another F5. So this one. So if you don't remember F5 as your toggle, you can use the ISO draft here sa ating status bar. So ito ang ating status bar. Dali. Wait. Parang nawawala ako. Hindi ko nakikita yung aking self. Wait. Ayun. Nasa ibang lupalop ang aking mukha. So at least gusto ko lang makita kung anong itsura ko. Anyway, so it is not enough to activate the isometric snap. So here, if I create the same object using this snap type, hindi ko pa rin siya magagawa. So, page. Yan. Because it will still follow the direction of your cursor. Pag turn on mo si isodraft or si isometric snap type, kailangan i-turn on mo din si ortho mo. So that's F8. So ortho on. Or kung hindi mo na naman ma-remember yung shortcut or yung function key F8, you can look for it here sa ating status bar na naman. So ito yan, ortho mode. Ang ginagawa nito is you can create straight lines according to this ISO snap. So if I click here, lalagay ko na naman, di ba? Sabi ko 4. So I'll just type 4, not with the angle anymore, 4. Tapos dito, 5. So for this one, kung gusto ko papunta sa 4, I'll toggle the F5. So para doon naman sa part na yan. Or gusto mo dito, yan, yung sa top part. So I'll press 3, 4, tapos toggle 5, toggle F5, then 5, then okay lang na mag-close maski naka-ortho ka. Yan. Then another line, toggle 3, yan. Next, line again. So, yan. So, mas madali siya compare dun sa paggamit ng polar coordinate entry. Pero bakit ko tinuro ito, yung polar, kung may mas madali dito? This one works for straight lines. Lalo na kung straight lines yung ginagawa mo. Pero if you're using angles, halimbawa magkakaroon pa dito ng katal, you need to calculate. Tapos saka mo i-activate yung polar coordinate entry. Or saka mo gamitin si polar coordinate entry. Okay? So mapapractice nyo or madadaanan nyo to in one of my plates, yung paggamit nung paano kukunin yung angle. Tapos, syempre, you can't use itong ortho. Yes, same yung pag-plot. When plotting lands kaya, you can use angles or you can use yung direction, yung north, east, chamber, ganyan. So this is just similar. So it's how you apply this knowledge to other stuff or other objects. So hindi naman kailangan na pag may ganito, ito lang ang gagawin. So you can apply this in lots, land. Yan. So next on the list, diniscuss ko na, nag-jump na, no? Is creating, ayan na, oh. Is creating a circle for isometric drawing. So dito, kung mapapansin nyo, yes, question. Mute ka. Okay. So here, we're creating a circle pero hindi circle command. So ang command dito is ellipse. So dito na tayo. Here para, aray ko. Dali. Okay. Sorry. Natawid ko. Pinakamadaling gawa ng sample is the top circle kasi nasa gitna lang siya. All we need to do is create a reference line, midpoint or endpoint to endpoint here. Okay. So what you need to activate is not circle kasi pag nag-circle ka, circle talaga ang magagawa niya. So let's say, umid ko na lang. Yan. Hindi siya lapat. So ang kailangan natin is isocircle. Para makagawa ka ng isocircle, the command is, it is under the command ellipse. So shortcut or command is EL or ellipse. ELLIPSE. Baka may mali ng spelling. Pero shortcut EL. So here, before clicking anything or before designating or before typing the center or the axis, what you need to do is click isocircle. So ang gagawin niya, isometric circle. So yan na yun, no? Either you click this or you press I, enter. I is for isocircle, I. Then it will ask you to specify the center of your isocircle. So dito, kunin ko lang yung midpoint. Then the radius of this one, either the radius or diameter, whichever is given. So you can use that. So as we can see here, the radius is 1. So I'll type 1, enter. So yan na. So here, ang nagawa kong isocircle is along this cursor. So dito sa plate na to. Now, what if dito ko gustong gawin and hindi ko siya pinalitan ng hindi ako nag-toggle, 'di ba, ng cursor. Dali. So here I'll get the this one. So 1 2. The center is 1 2. 1 2. The center is 2 pataas, mid. So I'll use at 2 angle 90. Yan. So yan yung reference ko ng center ng ating isocircle. So EL I center tapos radius 1. Ayun, radius 1. So hindi siya lumapat because mali yung orientation ng ating crosshair. So kung ganito ang crosshair ninyo, ang intended output niya is yung lapat sa taas, sa top. So here, I'll delete. EL uli ako, I, center. So while the ellipse command is activated, I can toggle the cursor. So F5, hindi pa dyan, F5. So 1, enter. So yan, then I'll create a reference line here, mid. Tapos 2 pataas. Then again, EL, I, center. Then ito, i-change mo na naman. So F5. Hindi pa rin, F5 uli. So the radius is what? Then after creating your isocircles, you can delete your reference lines. Kasi hindi naman siya kailangan dun sa drawing talaga. We just created that reference para mas madali yung mailapat yung ating isocircle. So yan. Di ba? Madali lang, guys. Walang nag-agree?
Yes po.
Yay.
Yes,
So, yan.
ma'am.
So, yung mga bago, minsan nagsasalita lang ako tapos bigla ako magtatanong just to make sure na nakikinig pa kayo sa akin. So, minsan matagal. Pero pag wala akong naririnig, I'll move on. Yes. For this part, pag-create ng isometric drawing, you need talaga to practice. That is why, so tapos na tayo dyan. You have 3 sheets, activity, job sheet, and activity, job sheet, and project sheet. Nalimutan ko na yung sheets. So, ito na. Explain ko na. So, this one, yung mga for today's plates, puro simpleng object lang siya. So, you need to be familiarized, not memorize to be familiarized on the process para malaro nyo siya. Hindi pwede na i-memorize nyo kasi baka or most of the time, hindi naman similar yung case. So, kailangan you can adjust to the situation you are facing. So, yan. Instruction for the activity. So, open activity sheet, BAB. This is given. So, let me just open the file para alam nyong tama yung na-download nyo or alam nyong malalaman yung may mali pala yung nabigay ko sa inyo. So again, most of the files, pinoprovide ko naman. Yung hindi ko ipoprovide, mag-create kayo ng new file. So, the instruction is stated naman. So for this one, 8 activity sheet. Again, I know this is a little plenty, pero it's for you to practice. Madadali lang naman siya. So, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, dito nyo lang gagawin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did not provide any starting point. What you need to do is, pagkakasyahin nyo na lang siya, itansya nyo kung saan kayo magsa-start. And most of the time, kasya naman siya, lapat siya dyan. Okay? Dali. So, sample. Kasi, para at least alam nyo kung paano siya gagawin. Ay. Masyadong maliit. Sige. Okay. So, kinopy ko lang from the other sheet or the other file. Tapos, ipiнаste ko lang dito. I'll now use to vertical viewport para at least hindi na rin ako mag-control, Alt-Tab. So here. So for activity sheet BAB 1.1, ito na yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll do this. So first, sample, no? First, I need to activate the ISO draft. So pwede ito. Or DS, enter, tapos snap type, ISO, tama, isometric snap. So, pero mas madali din yung sa Ito. Okay. Clarification, this is not solid object pa. This is still 2D drawing. Kaya nga 2D isometric. So, you're just creating a 2D representation of your 3D model. Puro line lang siya. Yung magpe-press pull, yung 3D commands, that's for module 3. Okay. So, the leveling of the modules, first module, 2D drawing, as in yung XY lang. Module 2, XY lang pero isometric. Then, 3, module 3, that's for solid modeling or solid drawing. Okay. So, this one will create this part. So, bibilang lang ako. Hindi na provided yung measurement. Bibilangin ko na lang. So, pwede ako mag-start dito sa part na to. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 6 by 5. So, tama na ako. Naka-on ang ortho. That's fine. So, dito na ako. So, 6, 5, 2, then 3. So, syempre 6 ka minus 2, that's 4. Then, pwede ka naman mag-close or ibaba mo. Then, F5. Toggle ka naman ngayon. 2, 4, 6, 7, 7. So, yan na. Kinancel ko na, no? So, pwedeng hindi mo siya i-command lahat. Kaya ang preference or ang nakalagay doon sa requirements or doon sa knowledge, kailangan marunong ka ng draw command at saka modify command because what you can do here is you can select this, copy, use the copy command, endpoint to endpoint. Then, this one you can copy as well. So, hindi ka na nag-command. Ang ginawa ko na lang is yung frame. Tapos, copy. Yan. So, that's your activity sheet BAB 1.1. Again, you don't need to replicate the grid lines. Nakakaduling po yan. The grid lines are there for your measurement. So, ka-count mo na lang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So, yan po. So, that's your sample for activity sheet. Next one. 7. So, here, nakalagay din dito, open job sheet. BAB-1. So, it is still provided. Job sheet. Okay. So, dito na naman. I'll open. So, you have 12 individual boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, dyan nyo po i-draw itong 12 na to. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sige. Anong isa-sample ko? Kayo isa lang ha. Kayong pumili. 11. Ay, wow, talaga. Okay. Sige. Para makita nyo na. So, for 11, I'll copy this again. And I'll paste it here. So, okay lang. Tapos, 2 vertical. So 11, this one. Okay, so yung wait. AutoCAD 20, naka-download AutoCAD 2022 trial version. Okay lang naman. Meron din ako. Kasi wala pa ako nakukuhang matinong installer. Pero I'm trying to be familiar with the latest version. Okay lang. So mabubuksan ko pa rin naman yan. Okay. So, sige. 11. Ito. Siyempre, kailangan alam muna natin. Okay. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, ang kailangan ko, activate the ISO. So, okay naman ang ortho. So, this one is, ilan to? 6. Tapos, 6. Okay. So, 1. Ito, depende sa strategy nyo, 1, 1, 1. So, dito, pwede ko na connect. I'll delete this. So, nagputol ako ng line command. Walang problema. So, this one, this is 2. Tapos, connect mo doon. This one, 4. Para direkta ka doon. END. You can call out the objects na para mas madali. So this one, copy. Para hindi na ako mamroblema. One, 10. Op, bakit ako? Hindi. Dapat hindi na ako dito. Gumawa. So this one, ito na yung chat. Okay, I'll delete this. Line, again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So, I'll use a different, ito lang dapat. Copy. Then copy. Okay? Okay, so yan na po. Hindi ko masyadong na-adjust. So, pwede nyo naman tong i-move sa gitna. Yan. Getch ba? Getch? Nakuha nyo ba, guys?
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes po.
Wait lang ha. Okay, so that's for the job sheet. Next, this is for the project sheet. So, this one, hindi ko gagawin yung 1.02. Nagsasabi na ako, hindi ko gagawin. Ipapatry ko muna sa inyo. Oh, kasi yan nakahalusan eh. Sabi ko hindi. I-try nyo muna saka ako magbibigay ng ng feedback about dyan. So, actually ano lang to heads up. If you're going to enroll sa third module, gagawin uli ito pero hindi na kayo gagawa ng ISO. So solid model na to. So for the solid model, ibang usapan na naman siya. So aside from 1.02, anong suggestion na gagawin ko? Sample. One 1.05, 1.06. Ngayon lang ako nagkaroon ng dalawang suggestion. Anyway, paano yan? Dalawang 1.05, isang 1.06. May suggestion pa ba? Sino ang bumoboto ng 1.05? Sino naman sa 1.06? Kasi kung ito ang babasihan ko, si 1.05 ang gagawin ko. Kayo, guys. Wala na bang magvo-vote? Ito na ba? Tatlo lang? Ay, hindi pwedeng both. Isa lang. Sample nga eh. Sample lang. Para at least makita nyo. So, in 5, 4, I know. Oh, ito. Ask. My question. Ma'am, ask ko lang po if naggamit po ng fillet dyan sa 1.03. No, you will not use fillet. Fillet. Oo. Yes, ellipse po yan lahat. Isocircle. Ellipse isocircle. So, bilangin natin 1.05. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tapos, yung 1.06, 1, 2. Oh. 5 versus 2. Okay, gagawin ko 1.05. Okay. So, I'll copy this again to a different file. Ito na. Dito na lang. Tapos, I'll use 2 vertical. Kasi ang nakalagay dito guys, ay project sheet pala. Akala ko create. Mali pala sketch. Dali lang. So, open pala. Open project sheet. Para sa 2 pala to. Hindi po gagamit ng fillet. Inuulit ko, hindi ka gagamit ng fillet for isometric drawing. You will use iso circle. Sige. Sample. So 1.05 ano? So again, you need to activate the ISO draft, then the ortho. Here, what I need to count is the length and the width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 8 by 5. So, pwede na ako. Ganyan na lang. So, 8 by 5. Ito lang yung gagamitin kong base. So, wait lang. Relax your body parts. So, sa height mo, 1, 2, punta ako dito, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. So, galing dito sa pinakadulo, dapat 10 ka. So, line. Here. 10. Tapos, syempre, 8. Tapos, 10. So, this is your pinaka-ilalim and saan na ako? Your pinaka-ilalim tapos pinaka-gilid or pinaka-wall. So, kailangan natin itong circle na to, isocircle. So, kung makikita nyo dito, bibilangin nyo yung nasa loob kung ilan. Itong circle na to, ilan yung radius niya. So, what we can count is the diameter. So, 1, kailangan ko to. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ang diameter. So, 2 ang radius. Kailangan nating makuha yung center. So, kung may 2 na radius ka, so 1, 2, tapos dito 1, 2, may 4 ka dito. So, line L. 4 pababa, tapos EL I, this one is 2. Okay, that's your inner isocircle. Paano yung nasa labas? Siyempre, from same center sila papunta dun sa edge. So, ELI, pwedeng dito ka na. So here, pwede mo naman i-copy na lang. Hindi ka mag-offset ika-copy mo papunta sa baba or dapat ang crosshair mo either ito or ito. So this one, I'll copy from this point papunta straight yan 2. Yan. So may mga sami tayo. Pwede ko nang tanggalin. I'll trim this one, this part, and this part. Yan. Then, hindi naman ito makikita. Sorry, nawala yung boses ko. Yan. So, ito. Delete ko na yan. Okay. So, yung ibang part ng isocircle, hindi ko muna iti-trim because I need to connect or to create a straight or a straight, inclined line along this this direction. So, line. Ang kailangan mong ma-detect is ito. The quadrant. Dapat naka-object snap ka, naka-turn on yung quadrant. So, ito yung, kung ellipse ka, ito yung endpoint or kung hatiin mo siya sa quadrant, ang ellipse, ito yung pinakadulo niya. Kung naka-straight, dahil isocircle siya, medyo tilted at an angle, so yun yung ditong part. So, quadrant to quadrant. Nasa na? Yun, quadrant. Then the other side here, quadrant to quadrant. Then that's the time you trim the excess. Trim set the boundary. I'll trim this and this one. Okay. Ay, hindi. Dapat pala hindi ko ito inano. Didiretso siya dito. Copy. Inisip ko lang. So, this is 2. So, dapat wala pala to. I'll trim. Hindi kasi tumitingin. So, later, I'll trim this part. However, kailangan ko munang kunin itong part. This. So, para ma-create itong part na ito, this is actually an isocircle also. This is not fillet. Ang radius niya is 1. So, kailangan natin dito. Line. 1, 1 paloob. So, dito din gagawin ko na para isahan lang. So, 1, 1. So, EL ay tapos either you type 1 or you follow or you click the endpoint here. EL. Pakita ko na lang. EL ay this one and 1. So this one, this isocircle I created by clicking the endpoint. This one I created by setting the radius to 1. So up. So dito meron pa pala 1, 2. Tanggalin ko. 9. Actually, kung magdodraw lang kayo, mas madali. So, ako kaya, iniisa-isa ko. This one, may 1 ka dyan. Then, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, connect mo dyan. Okay. Ay. So, ano na lang gagawin natin? I need this to be trimmed. This one also. Bago natin i-copy pataas. Trim. Yan. So, deleting excess lines. For this one, I need this to be copied pataas. So, copy this point, base point, F5, pataas. The height is 2. Yan. This one, I don't need. Line. So, yung ginawa din natin kanina, quadrant to quadrant. Dito mo na. Yan. Then, copy mo na din to. Copy. Ay. Ayo. Ito na lang. Create akong line dito. Para sure. Sure na sure. Itong copy mo. Copy. Copy. This. Okay. So now, trim. Hindi pa tayo tapos because ito, ano pa, incomplete. So, for this one, INT. Intersection, tapos, ilan to? 2, 8. Then, straight. So, trim. Trim excess. So, trim unnecessary lines. Yan na. Tada! Actually, kung ano, hindi ako nag-i-instruct, mas madali. Pero yan, here, you can mix and match according to your understanding of the object, kung anong gusto nyong gawin. Pero let me remind you, hindi po kayo mag-fillet. You will use isocircle, ellipse isocircle. So, yan. Okay na ba? Di ba madali lang? Ah, I don't think you can use mirror because for mirror, kailangan mo ng anong tawag dito, mirror line. So, when creating ISO objects, hindi gagana yung mirror line mo unless you will create that exact replicate dun sa kabilang side. Oo. So, pag ito, halimbawa, this one, I need, anong kailangan ko dito? Ito yung quadrant eh. Pero kung magsi-center ako, send ko papunta here. Diba? Anong gagamitin mong mirror line dito? Okay? So, question guys. The floor is now open for questions. Okay, for submission, sabi ko nga, pwedeng may masubmit na kayo. Pwede naman na hindi nyo pa masubmit. So, ang concern ko lang kasi, paano ko malalaman kung alam nyo na yung topic or ready na kayo. So, pwedeng hindi nyo ubusin, sabihin natin activity sheet lang muna, o at least yun machikan ko. Though madami pa akong pending na chichikan. Pero yan. Sige. Pero this lesson kasi is good for 8 hours. So, today and tomorrow sana. So, pero depende rin sa inyo eh kung matapos nyo. Hindi naman ako nagmamadali. Hindi the submission, you need to email me. Ang instruction nandoon po sa orientation video. So, if you haven't watched the orientation video, yaon po, naka-upload po siya sa Google Drive on the last part. Kasama yun dun sa pinag-usapan sa orientation. Though, sige, I'll send it sa sa GC. Kung ayaw nyo makita yung mapanood yung orientation video. Anyway, so ano pa? Questions? I'll stop the share na. So be ready. Magpipicture taking tayo. Saan na yun? So I'll stop the share. Yan. Magpipicture taking na tayo guys kasi wala nang nagtatanong. Okay, dahil picture taking, turn on your cameras. Kasi yung last batch, alam ko na yung mga itsura nila. Yung current, lalo na yung sa mga bago, hindi ko pa alam ang mga itsura nyo. So ako, kitang-kita nyo naman. Sino pa? Ano lang naman to, mga 2 shots. Rain. Tsaka si Francis. Oh. Si Rain and Francis. Michelle! Okay, yung mga nasa office dyan, carry lang. O sige na, picture taking ha. Pag snip and sketch ang gamit ko, kaya walang camera. Okay. Kaya hindi kayo gagalaw mga 2 seconds ha. Okay. 1, 2, smile! Lahat. Hindi. Ayan. Okay. First shot, si-save ko lang. Save ko muna. Wait for a while. So magsi-session tayo tomorrow. Sana walang magsando bukas ha. Okay. Isa pa. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sige na. Okay. Ang inyong mapopost ko to sa Facebook pero hindi mo na ngayon. Pero i-edit ko lang ng slide. So, yan. Did you learn something, guys?
De.
Yes
네.
po.
예. 감사합니다. So, ito po, sabi ko nga, you don't need to memorize. You just have to understand the process. Kasi, nag-a-adjust siya eh. Depende sa kung ano ang available. So, as much as possible, gusto ko kayong ma-expose sa iba't ibang objects. So, at least kung sakaling may ma-encounter kayo na similar yung situation sa future, di malulusutan nyo na. Okay? So, yan na. I will end the session. Thank you so much for attending. Sabi dito, mas madali pag module 3, lalo na pag na-imagine nyo yung itsura ng object. So, mas madali na lang. Pero, mahirap pa rin. Ano, Michelle? Si module 3? Uulit ka module 3, ah. Anyway, so, yan po. Thank you so much for attending today's session. I hope you will not give up. So, yan. Huwag po kayong matakot. Kung hindi kayo bibitaw, hindi rin ako bibitaw. Yeah. So, yan po. Again, thank you so much. Kamsahamnida. See you all tomorrow. I hope you learned something, ha? So, apply what you learned.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you po.
Yeah. O yung may problema dun sa anong tawag to? Yung sa installer. Wait for me.
Opo, ma'am. Sige po.
Sa PM na lang tayo mag-chat. Okay?
Sige po, miss. Sige po, ma'am.
Okay. Bye!
Bye po.